when you know whose you are, when you know that greatness that you possess is an opportunity for you to impact others. So with what we have, our responsibility is big on the role of impacting the society we live in, not only our children, but we must be a blessing to others. We are blessed to be a blessing. I grew up from a very, very small rural town. Maybe most of you will not know where Nongoma is, even on the map. It is in KZN, dusty roads. Electricity only came when I was already at varsity. And people, even in KZN, when they refer to Nongoma, but oh, KwaZulu, meaning it's still very primitive, it's still very rural, and it's still very cultural. Growing up as 6 siblings, I'm the 3rd born. I was fortunate to be raised by a man who loves the Lord. My father chose to love Jesus and make it fashionable to us, that when we grew up, we knew we had a covering from him. But I want to tell you that with the covering that you may have from your parents, that you may hide behind your parents and not want to emerge, and not want to take up space and occupy. And you run out of the covering. And then you need to have a relationship with your maker. I went to school very young. At 17 years old, I was doing my first year at university. Naive, immature, but I thrived on the covering that I had from my parents. 20 years of age, I fell pregnant. It felt like the road to success for me had ended. My future looked cloudy. Everything looked misty. I just want to talk to young people today and say, maybe where you are today, you feel like there's no tomorrow. It is misty. But that is the time when you are called to emerge. Because in emerging, you get clarity. In emerging, you are coming out of the comfort zone or of the pity party that you are entertaining. At 20 years of age, I had my girl, Kenzie. I thank God for her. And I remember going back to KZN over the school holidays, going back home. Like I said, Nongoma is primitive, it's rural, so it's very patriarchal. So my dad's siblings have 2 or 3 wives, but my dad chose the Lord and has only one wife, who happens to be my mom. And because of him allowing himself to emerge from poverty, from the chains of culture, when I went back, my dad made sure that as girls, we go to school and we get the same education and the best education like my brothers did. I remember when I was going back home, I'm a holiday, pregnant, and my dad's siblings saying, sure, bemosimali nembon. Uti ufundisa lezi zinto. Ezikhulelwayo bese siyazishadisa. So that's the root that has been embedded, and that's the route that they know. But it was different for me because I had favor with God, because I had grace, because grace had located me even when I was not deserving of it. So today you may be sitting here and you are hearing so much about emerging, and you are asking yourself, how do I do it? Take up your position. Make a choice about your life. Even when there is so much around you. It is so overwhelming. You don't even know if your parents would be able to pay for your tuition. Imagine, because in imagine, you're stepping forth to people that may assist you. But when you're sitting in your corner and the devil is working with you, bringing self-doubt, making you to conform to what is of the world, you will submerge. You're going to sink. You're going to sink. I remember my cousins also saying, oh, usezofana nathi. Usezofana nathi alinda umshado. And the worst was that I had never left my province, KZN, and I had fallen pregnant with the guy that was from Johannesburg. So babasho bathi, oh, nalomfana seGoli uzomlahla. Usehambile uyobona abaseGoli abangcono. But like I say, grace had located me. But also I had a conviction within myself that I'm not staying here. I don't belong here. I want to be better than this. Pastor Stella last night shared and said, for emergence to happen, there must be an experience. You must go through something for you to emerge from the position of comfort that you are in. Fast forward, I find myself relocating. So Pastor Nonhlanhla last night also said, a story of our redemption starts in the relocation for us to emerge. Bazalwane, in relocation, there's a shift. In relocation, there's a different perspective. I come to Witbank, opportunities arrive on my doorstep. I'm stuck in the mindset of poverty, of culture. I come to Witbank and it is thriving with opportunities. I could have chosen to be overwhelmed, sit in my corner, and not partake on the opportunities that God had for me. A choice had to be made. I was 22 years old. I remember walking into Gateway. I remember Pastor Eddie one time asking me to come in front. And I used to say, Pastor, I'm very shy. I'm very shy. And Pastor Stella would say, there's nothing like that. You are not shy. Look at me. Little girl in her cocoon who grew up with associating herself with people that will impact her life for her own growth. For you to realize the purposes of God in your life, you need to relocate. If it means move from the friends that you have, relocate into greatness that God has for you. People may say, I'm not great. Greatness means I must be wealthy, I must drive a car. Greatness lies in us, in the gifts that God has granted us. He has afforded us talent. He has afforded us mouths to speak the word. Look at Pastor Stella. I felt so intimidated thinking I have to speak of her because she's got the anointing of the words. And that is her greatness. And that we can't take away from her. So find your greatness. Utilize it to serve others. Greatness is not only about flaunting your riches. Greatness is not, think of great people who were best singers, but because they moved away from God, they stepped into areas that swallowed them. They submerged. They submerged. So for you to stay afloat, remember, this greatness that you possess is a gift that comes with responsibility. You know what I also find is that the mindset of poverty is something you must work on almost every day. I would be sitting amongst most powerful people, but I would still be asking myself, what am I doing here? You know, I would feel like I'm an imposter. I don't deserve to be here. But who says when my God is so great? Who says when He has located me to where I am? I sometimes send Pastor Stella photos and I'll be like, look at where I am. I actually cannot even believe it. Look at the people that are in my house. Who am I? But then in that moment, when you're on that table with that people of stature, you need to ask yourself, Lord, why am I here? What are you saying to me? What is the message that you are giving me? I could take photos and post, but what is it going to teach? But I need to be of service. I need to be active and participate in the life that God has given me. To close, I want to say, you need to move out of your comfort zone. You need to take position. You need to emerge before emergencies force you to emerge. Thank you very much.